All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today's number 21, day number 21. Today's February 25th, 2025. We are building a ground up duplex in Texas. Now, check this out. We had the concrete poured yesterday. This stuff is amazing. It cooks really, really quickly. And by cooking, I mean it cures or hardens, whatever you want to call it. And so this morning when I went by, this gentleman here was basically, working on removing the forms. So one of the other things that the guys that you hire to do the forms and, spread the concrete out and all sorts of stuff is they have to go back out there the day after to remove the forms. One of the other things that I already did is I called the company that does the tensioning and told them, hey, we poured on Monday. You have 24 to 48 hours to do a uh, a partial tensioning of the cables. So they already know that that's coming down the pipeline. They'll send their people out there. And whenever we purchase the cables, we're also purchasing them coming out, tensioning the cables, and also cutting the edges of the cables. Now, remember, the foundation engineer, I should say, he stamps that foundation, right? He says, "This is my stamp of approval, saying that this foundation should be, sufficient for this structure, and based on the soil testing and based on all this other stuff." Okay, so that gets done. Then we do a pre-pour test. That pre-pour basically says, okay, let's check to make sure that the dimensions of the footings, the dimensions of the trenches, the dimensions of all the stuff that we designed this slab are according to the specifications that the foundation engineer basically asked for. So that's the second one. And then a third inspection that we get is the inspection to double check to make sure that the tension of the cables is according to the specifications that the engineer did. Now, I know this sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo, but I'm telling you guys, it's important. It is absolutely important that you do those things. I think that for the most part, whenever I was first starting this out, one of the things that I really did not understand or know was the foundation. As a fix and flip guy and all the stuff that I've ever done, I mean, I had done some framing, I had done some electrical, I'd done, full guts of houses, right? You have to do all new air conditioning, all new plumbing, all new electrical. Like you do that stuff. You have a basic semblance and idea. You've done roofs, all this stuff. You have an idea of what that all entails. But the one thing that I did not understand or know very much of was foundations. Didn't know much about concretes, didn't know about much about cables and all this other stuff and how it works. And I don't want you to be intimidated by it because it's new verbiage, especially if you've done some fix and flips, it's some new lingo. But it's not very, very complicated once you understand the process. So I'm just walking you through the process here. One of the steps that we went ahead and did is we asked the foundation guys to just go ahead and cut us a little square here for the air conditioning unit. Mostly because there was extra concrete left available, and because the city of Willis wants this slab and the platform for the air conditioning to be at the same level as the slab. And then we have if you can see here, we have like a little trench, like a little small little baby trench there to keep the water from, just going into the house, just going out this way. So very, very cool. We got that stuff done. So basically what this guy's job is he goes out there and first of all, what he does is removes, you see these stakes, he's removing them from the actual forms. So then that way he can go ahead and remove the form without like damaging the concrete. See these little triangle things? You just hammer those into the ground to hold these up this way. And then once all of those are removed, then he will go ahead and remove this 2x12 and then remove the other ones. And it's just a little bit, it's one guy. And you can see all there, he's walking on it. This stuff is already hardened. I'm going to show you a video here at the end. So now we're basically now at the end of the day. So it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 1600. And so basically I went back out there to just double check everything, right? Make sure everything's good, nothing too crazy. I'm looking for, big cracks or something crazy that just might have happened, like a big piece of, concrete fell off. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking for, right? They're just making sure that everything's looks and smells the way it's supposed to. And so I go out there and it looks fantastic. So here you can see the nails where, remember the cables were nailed into the 2x4 to the 2x12, the forms here. So you can see them right there. So you can see where the cables are going to be. And hang on a second. So, like I said, now it's at the end of the day, and this stuff hardens quickly, very, very quickly. I'm walking on it, and I just wanted to show you guys, like, hey, look, it's holding me up. It's not like super, super soft or anything like that. So, it's been one day, essentially. You know, we started first thing in the morning. This stuff has been polished. This is 3,000 psi concrete. We called the people up to do the partial tension. They should come out between 24 to 48 hours after we've poured to do the partial tensioning of these cables, and then we'll do another full tensioning, 7 to 10 days after it's been done and completed. So that's really it, guys. I mean, this is awesome. We are now moving forward. We already ordered the material for delivery for tomorrow for the lumber. We have about $10,000 worth of material coming, and we're talking about all the walls, the interior walls, the exterior walls. We ordered the stuff for the roof, the stuff for the. So we have, these walls that are going to be here. So you'll see this stuff going up this way. The interior walls are going to be going up, and then the ceiling joists are going to be. We ordered that material as well, and then we ordered the stuff for the roof joists basically, or the frame for the roof. Now I'm going to show you something real quick because this is a specialty item that I want you guys to not be afraid of because it's very, very simple. Okay, so here we are at our plans for 403 MLK. So you can see here, and these are the ones that we're going to be doing for all of these guys. So don't freak out. So this is going to be the 403 one. Let me move here and show you where I'm talking about this specialty item that we need. So traditionally what happens in most construction is that you have to have support, right, in order to prevent the structure from shifting too much, whatever the case is. So here at the very front we have a couple of places where there is high span of where you're going to put sheetrock up for the ceilings, okay, inside the house. And so in order to prevent that wood from sagging over time, because the weight of the sheetrock is very, very extreme, you want to have something there to hold it. So the piece of wood is this way, sheetrock is underneath. This piece of wood that goes across like this has to be very, very strong. So we order something here called an LVL. Give me 1 second. So what is an LVL? It is just laminated veneer lumber, and what that means is because this is what it looks like right here. What it means is that this stuff here, I know that these have like edges over the top. Don't look at this stuff over here. Just focus in on this right here. All it means is that the company that makes these things, what they've done is they've made this piece of wood out of a bunch of smaller pieces of wood, but they've like got this like crazy resin that makes it super hard as a rock. And the ones that we get, don't the pieces are not this thin. They're usually like a little bit thicker. The little individual pieces are usually like a little bit thicker like this. But the point I'm trying to make is that this particular laminated, what is it, veneer lumber is engineered to be able to withstand high amounts of weight. And why is that important? It's important because here we have very large spans, and I mean, 20 feet. Okay, there's not going to be anything supporting underneath this. So imagine we have 20 feet of completely open space between here and here. And there's no support underneath here, there's no support underneath here, no support underneath here. It's just the only supports are going to be here and here. So the piece of wood that goes all the way across has to be very, very strong. And so what the structural engineer, or the foundation engineer, because he does the structural stuff too, he signed it here. It's like, hey, look, this is my stamp of approval. This is how I want you to design the structure so that it withstands the weight requirements. He asked us to get two, and that's what I'm just going to read to you here. So he wants us to have two of these 1 by 3 1/4 by 11 1/4 20-foot LVLs that come from here to here, sandwiched. So we're going to put two of those thick, fat ones, and we're going to put them together. We're going to sandwich those together, and that is going to be what's going to hold a lot of the weight on this side. And then here on this side, he wants us to put three 2x12s. If you've ever been around a job site, you know those 2x12s are super heavy. They're 2 by 12 by 20 feet, and he wants us to do three of them sandwiched together to be able to hold the weight from here to here. He doesn't think that we need the LVLs there. This LVL thing is more expensive. It costs about 169, maybe $189 per piece, but it's a one structural weird thing that we are required to have in these duplexes. That's just going to make this structure a lot better, last longer, and you don't have any issues. Why is this important? Is because if you decide to just go cheap on it, number one, and people's roofs start sagging and the sheetrock starts sagging, they're gonna call you up and say, "Hey man, what's going on with my roof, dude, or with my ceiling? Like the sheetrock is like really like legitimately beginning to sag. I can see it." And so you're gonna have problems. So that's why we follow it. And man, I'm telling you, it's that's the only challenge that we have. So we're just gonna have to go somewhere else, a different store, whatever store, lumber yard. They're gonna have them for whatever reason. Home Depot does not have them in stock right now, and we're gonna get these four LVL somewhere else. But that's the only thing. Everything else is coming on Wednesday and Thursday. We're gonna have the guys probably starting to work tomorrow, or maybe on Thursday. Depends. We'll see what the availability is and what the weather looks like. But we'll be getting a ton of shipment of material there. I'm going to be at the job site making sure we get all the stuff that we ordered, and we're going to keep moving on this project. Man, we are moving and going, and we have a few more inspections coming up, and we are excited. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Made this video long enough.